in the chamber. We'll deal with that later. Alright, so this is all gonna, once I remove this, all the water is gonna come leaking. So the next step is let's plunge the rest of this out. Where's the plunger? Here we're gonna plunge that out. We're gonna force this through.
Done now.
Force all that out. Put this out of the way. There's still some water left in there. There's still some water in here that we can't get out all the way, so we have to deal with that. Now, once we do this, let's we're gonna remove the line here, the water line going in. This should be hand tightened and hand loosened. You don't want to go. There comes all the water out. That's fine. We knew that was going to happen. All right, that's that. Now, we got that. Now we'll take let's remove the toilet from the pedestal out now. Move. Okay, it's garbage.
Yep.
It's stuck. There we go. Pop that out. These are pretty corroded. I'm gonna find out what nut we need to.
The toilet should be coming out soon enough, right?
Yeah. The problem with this is the plumber puttied it down. And we're gonna need to give it a nice jolt, break it out of that. And what we're gonna have to happen next is we're gonna probably have to, once we take that out, we're gonna have to clean that up too. So it's gonna be a little extra work, but we'll see what happens.
So like the whole gluing part is like down this road. You got it. Nice, we got it out.
There we go. All right, so.
Wait. Is it heavy? What a disgusting thing! All the way down to the hole.
Yeah, that's the old wax. So I'm gonna dump out the rest of the remaining water in here before I start to carry it out. So let's do that now.
Yes.
Alright, so
and we'll be back with you guys when we're done.
Alright, so the reason I'm doing this right now is we wanna, before we set down the wax, we wanna make sure this is measured out, because when you put this down and the wax is down already, you get one shot to do this. And the wax is gonna make its
Alright, so you have to put it on, okay.
Yeah, so the question we're going to do now, so this is, here are the screws.
How do you know if it's in the right place?
Let's tighten these screws up. We know the screws are good right there.
How do you know if it's in the right place?
Now, the question becomes, that's that, right? So, there's not much, these screws aren't coming up. They're not coming up that much, so we don't have much to work with here, so. Let's make sure these are positioned properly, these screws, that's one of the important things. And so, the question now becomes, is the toilet bowl flush, is it straight?
How do you know if it's straight?
So we're gonna have to, I think we'll have to just eye it. I think, that's about it, right there is pretty much it. What I want to do next is, so, put this back on its, what I want to do is I'm going to put a bead of silicone around this bottom. Around it. Nope. Quick and dirty. Gotta get it on there in the first try. You can't really mess around with this thing right now. That's it. Alright. That's it.
Okay, looks like.
Just use these screws, tighten them on. Next step is I'm just gonna get a wet paper towel here and just go around the outside of my steel, tank on. So that's pretty easy and
Not that hard. And then we'll get the tank and we'll be back with you guys.
straightforward. Putting on the bottom here. Get that, make sure that's in place the right way here. Design here. You've got a big gasket that comes down here, so this comes out of the bottom. And you know, as we screw this nut on there, it doesn't look like it's gonna. I guess it'll just keep coming down and break as we tighten it up. I guess that's what they want me to do here, so let's just go with it. So we got a washer and we got the bolt.
Nice new toilet. I'm happy. The old one was 10 years old, and now this one's 1 day old. Go.
We got the tank on. Make sure you gotta just be careful you don't over tighten it. There are these rubber gaskets in here. You can see the screw almost going through them, so you don't want to. Make sure you don't over tighten it. In fact, we'll leave that one the way it is. So now next step is just to screw the water back on to the top, which again, it's a hand tighten. It's got a rubber gasket inside. I might have wanted. If we do, I'll have to buy a new one. On there, this came out, right?
You just turned the water on, right?
There.
You just turned the water on.
Water's on now.
Yay! Hi, toilet.
Alright, let's let it fill up. Make sure we don't have any leaks.
And we'll be back.
Fill up our tank. We're gonna check for leaks. Probably let it sit for a while, but do the initial flush here. You want to?
Yeah, let's flush it.
Go ahead, flush it.
That's so good.
All right, great.
Alright. Regular thing. And that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Have fun.